It's great to have variety on a Greek breakfast table or a Greek brunch table. I'm making a really traditional pie called Galatopita, milk pie. Who would have thought you could make an entire pie with milk as the main ingredient? Leave it to a Greek shepherd to come up with that one. I'm gonna heat my milk and add sugar and whisk that all together. You wanna be very careful not to burn the milk, so you have to keep an eye on it. And while that's warming, I'm just gonna mix my solid ingredients together. I start with fine semolina, a little bit of cornstarch. That gives the final milk pie a really silky texture, and just a pinch of salt. Just mix that, make sure it's well combined. 2 eggs go into the filling. You want to make sure this is smooth, so you whisk it well. The eggs, of course, bind the whole mixture together. A little bit of honey goes in next, and I'm using pine honey in this dish. And vanilla extract. Just adding my saffron. Krokos in Greek. A little bit of lemon zest. The saffron and the lemon are beautiful together. It tastes really good. Just whisking this all together. And you can see the saffron actually has colored the mixture already. See how beautiful that looks? This egg and flour mixture should be almost the consistency of pancake batter. See that? Now comes the tricky part. I want to temper this a little bit. And what does that mean? That means I'm going to add a little bit of my hot milk mixture to my egg and flour mixture carefully, slowly, and whisk it. And I want to do that so that when I pour this back in there and reheat it, the eggs don't curdle. Now that the sugar's dissolved in the milk and the mixture is hot, I'm gonna add a little bit of this to my egg and flour mixture, whisking it as vigorously as you can so that the egg doesn't curdle. You can add just a little bit more, and then I'm gonna pour this mixture back into my pot and heat it. Now, there are a few different types of milk-based pies in the Greek kitchen. I decided to make the Galatopita today because to my mind, that's actually the Greekest of the 3 of them. It was born in that rural region in the northern part of the country, a place where shepherds have roamed forever. So there's always been a lot of milk, and pies of all sorts have always been a tradition in that part of Greece. My egg mixture is tempered with the hot milk. I'm gonna pour this back into the pot and stir it as I do that, whisk it. Get as much of that in there as possible. Now, what you want to do here is cook this very slowly. I have it on low heat until it starts to thicken. You're basically making a custard. And when that happens, I'm going to add a little bit of butter, which gives it a great taste. It's right at that point now where I'm about to add the butter, and I want you to see how thick this is. Basically just plops off the spoon. I want to get my butter in here. This is what you want to look for when you know the custard is ready. Those sort of pothole-like bursts of steam at the surface of this mixture. I'm ready to roll out my filo to finish off the Galatopita. The one thing you want to remember is just to keep it covered while you work with it. So roll it open carefully. This will take 6 sheets on the bottom of the pan. The thing that distinguishes the Galatopita from other types of milk pies in the Greek kitchen is that this one is actually open-faced. The filo is only on the bottom. A little bit of melted butter. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna take my first sheet You want to work a little bit fast, especially if your kitchen's warm. If the phyllo tears a little bit, not to worry, no one's going to see it. Once it's baked, you'll never know. That's the beauty of working with good phyllo. A little bit of butter. Okay. Now, the other types of milk pie that you find in Greece, there are two of them, basically. One is called Galatopita. Gala is the word for milk. And that's a thicker filling, and that pie is covered. The third type of kind of milk-based custard pie is called buratsa. And that tends to be a variety of different things. It can be a custard filling. It could also be some savory fillings. I want to make sure the edges are well buttered because I don't want them to dry out before I have to turn them in to form the rim. So this is going right into my pan. I'm trying to get all of it in there. I don't want to waste any of it. Now there's one last trick, and I'm going to show you in a second as soon as I roll my rim around the periphery of this pan. To form the rim, you're basically just folding in the overhang, the bits of phyllo that are hanging right over the edge. You can see that it's starting to dry up a little on the edges. No big deal, it's not going to show once this is baked. And this gets a little bit of a topping. It's basically an egg wash with a little bit of sugar and a little bit of water. So by adding this to the top, it gives it kind of a nice crust. And basically what this does is lends a really nice sort of caramel finish to the whole pie. You can just do this to get it all over the surface. And there we go. This is going into a 360-degree oven for about 40 to 45 minutes. Smells good. You have to let the Galatopita cool down. And for me, the last step is always finishing it with a little powdered sugar and a touch of cinnamon. That combination of cinnamon, powdered sugar, and custard, it's awesome. I want to taste this. It smells great. This is intoxicating. It's so earthy and comforting and soothing. That is great for breakfast or brunch.